Scary Tyson, he's kicked it a long way and accurately. It was brilliant from Dom.
Oh, well done, Brayshaw. Superb play. This is what they need. Can he finish with a goal? Angus Brayshaw, he can.
Alrighty, here we are for the player takeover round of the Melbourne Football Club podcast. I'm Angus Brayshaw. It's a real pleasure to be here. I've debuted as a guest a while ago, but now find myself hosting. So to my right, we've got Dominic Tyson. G'day, Dom.
Gussie boy. Yeah, so I'm making my debut on the show.
100 games. Now you debut in the show. Things are coming up, Dom, aren't they?
Well, I've come straight into the co-host role, so either a few boys were sick or not picking up their phones, but I'm glad to be here, mate, and good to be in your company.
Yeah, it always is. And Dr. Daniel Cross sitting across the table from us as our guest. So, Crossy, it's a pleasure to have you.
Another debutant, fellas.
Yeah. Big time.
It's very nice to be asked to be on the show.
Flattered.
Yeah, and we're a bit nervous, Gussie. You might have to babysit us through, mate.
Through a decorated career as well, this would have to be one of the higher honours accolades you've received.
It's up there.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I've actually got one off the cuff for you, Gussie.
Oh, okay. Let's change it up.
Need to congratulate you on your contract signing last week, which
Thanks,
is massive.
You're a good man.
And I did see in the news recently, LeBron James has just opened up a school with all the money
he did.
He's got coming through. Any intentions for yourself, mate, to do something similar? Or?
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, the great man's signed to 150 million, so
and you're not quite there.
I'm a little bit short.
Zeros short, okay.
But we'll see. Maybe I'll give him a call and we can try and tee something up.
Liaise with fair enough.
Liaise.
Talk to his people. They talk to your people. You get it done.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's we'll put that down the pipeline. Maybe with the influence we've got here at the Melbourne podcast, we can get in touch with him, but we'll see. So it's interesting, actually. I'm sitting in Clint Stanaway's chair, and I spoke to Stanners the other day. You bumped into him on the way to Coles.
Saw him at Coles, yeah. He was buying a pasta. He had a face of makeup on after the news, but no, he was doing a good job, Clint.
So he's given me a 3-point plan for a successful podcast. So first point, and he's got this down to a T, and so do you a little bit, Doma, mind you. You just got to walk in with a little bit of head wobble, a bit of swagger. And, you're a self-proclaimed rooster.
Wow. Well, you guys give me that nickname, and I don't shut it down. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So we've got that ticked off. So the second point is, when in doubt, throw your guests under the bus. So Crossy,
but Crossy's squeaky clean, mate. We couldn't possibly throw Crossy under the bus.
I'm happy to be here for you guys to do that.
Have you got any dirt that you want to give us?
Off air.
Okay. And we'll get to that. And point 3 is product placement is king. So this helps you get your free stuff. So with that in mind, it's a pleasure for me to announce that this podcast is, besides Zurich, obviously our great friends at Zurich, Clutching Co's jumped on board for a little bit of a help out. They've actually given me a pair of pants to play golf in. So
well, that's my golfing brand. You're referring to.
Dominic's golfing brand.
Struggling golfing brand. Jump online. I might need you guys. No, it's. I don't think we actually have officially parted with the podcast. I don't want to be stepping on Zurich's toes because
that was more that was a me thing. So Zurich, no offense, but here we are. We're here, we're having a good time, and I think it's probably about time we spoke about the win on the weekend. The Adelaide game was a big game for us in the context of the season, and not only that, it was your 100th game, Dom. So talk us through what that was like, your 100th game.
Yeah, very good experience for me, Gussie. Obviously sharing the milestone with Jordan Lewis's 300, so I was more than happy to play second fiddle to that achievement. But the club was really good. You're able to fly a couple of family members over, and they put them up for the hotel, and tickets were no issues, and room passes. So I had my brother and 2 brothers, their girlfriends, my girlfriend, my mum and dad over there. So good to share such a good win with them. And then obviously the win was just all that I wanted, and we got that, which hopefully sets us up for a good little patch in the next month.
How many games did you play at GWS?
13 too many. No, 13.
So 13. You've had a fair whack at Melbourne. Is there one?
I actually came to the club at the same time Crossy did. So we walked into the doors at the same time, and I tried to learn a few things off the doctor here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
seems like a while ago, doesn't it, Crossy?
That was a while ago. Yeah, what was it?
You played 3 years?
2 years.
The one with me, I was there for one of them. Glorious year.
It was
under Paul Roos.
Great year.
Anyone stand out of your 100 games? I mean, you've had
like
a few
specific game.
Yeah.
I got asked that during the week by the Burgertron, the in-house media genius at Melbourne. I said one from every year, which Crossy can attest to early. We beat Adelaide over there in 2014 when we'd been under the pump. And we weren't playing great footy, and we sort of pulled one out of the bag. 2015, we went down the highway against Geelong and beat them.
I remember that one.
I think
Were you there as well, Doc?
No, I played.
You played.
You played that.
Yeah, I was definitely.
You were very good that day, I reckon.
Yeah, it was so it was me and Gorney's breakout day. But Gorney just happened to have this unbelievable one, and I was sort of
He had 200 super coaches.
He was on about 200 super coaches. Noticed. Yeah.
And then I said 2016 was that Hawks v Hawthorn. Sorry, well, Hawks at the G.
Is that the one where you kicked a snag late and
couple late? Yeah.
That was glorious.
But
Actually,
they'd won about 8 or 9 in a row, or was sitting top 2, and then 2017 was when the big Gering, Tommy McDonald, kicked
limits.
5 over in Perth, just something remarkable. And this year probably the Adelaide one so far, but hopefully there's a bit more to come.
Yeah, well, 100 games is a terrific effort, Dom, and it was good. I think it was a good way to celebrate, and in front of a hostile crowd as well. It's you've should be. You proud? You proud of where?
Oh, you don't really. Doesn't really hit you yet because you still want to achieve so much more. But maybe even into the season, you start. Oh, the boys signed a football for me, so there's a few little things that you can sort of put up in that trophy room. I don't have a trophy room, but
hang on, that's not what I
covered for now. And, what do you do with all your memorabilia? You got anything going, Crossy? Or?
No, I've got a
room devoted for it. I've been to your house, Doctor.
It's got the kids outside.
We've got the pool room at the front of the house, and got a couple of balls and that in cases and that sort of thing. But got plenty of jumpers in frames, just sort of hidden away at home,
just waiting for
a rainy day.
I've got a lot of my old jumpers that my little boy Tyler likes to get out and put on, and we play in the living room, and we whack them on. So
is Tyler your young fella? Is he a dogs or a D's man? Is he 50-50 or?
No, he's a D's man.
He's a D's man.
He loves you boys. Yeah. Absolutely loves you. He's got...
What number does he wear?
I have seen him in the change rooms with
trots around with the number 10 on his back, so he's obviously got his head screwed on the right way.
He's got 10 on his home jumper. He's got 23 on his away jumper.
He's a good mate.
He's a crowd favourite.
So, I think he was 2 when I left the Dogs. You guys, you look after him so well when he comes down the rooms and make him feel part of it, and sort of every sort of player that's come through the last few years has done that. So the club's been great in that aspect, and he's very passionate. When we lost down at Geelong last week,
hits him hard.
He was. I told you, he was
not happy.
He was in tears in the crowd, and the Cats fans were giving it to him, which I can't believe.
Getting absolutely served.
We do joke that Tyler's probably likely to grow up with the greatest ever calves.
Oh yeah, he's on his tippy toes,
his old man, and then he will never fumble throughout his junior career.
He's already doing some touch sessions down the house.
Yeah, push-ups, plenty of push-ups,
get the chest going. Yeah.
But no, he's a good kid. Hopefully, father-son, really. I mean, you fell short at Melbourne, but so he's well short. So he's going to the Dogs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for everyone listening, Tyler Cross, dog to be.
Dogs, hopefully.
Yeah. But no, it's good. So, I mean, we've got a little bit of a run sheet here, and I guess the next topic is the Melbourne season so far. So, I mean, looking back, there's been a few up and downs. Doc, there's an interesting one because the run has been a little bit in the spotlight of late, hasn't it been? How have you found being a runner this year? Is it? Do you find yourself thinking about more what's going on and what you're doing, or?
Yeah, look, I'm president of the Runners Association, and we've copped a bit of fire this year.
Yeah.
Which has been a bit unwarranted. I think they've really come for us for some unknown reason.
A couple of bad eggs ruining the bunch, I think. That's what's happening.
Until you've actually done it, it's a bloody hard job. Like when I was playing, I probably took it for granted as well. But down on the bench, you guys would see like there's 1,000 things going on, and you got to get out and back pretty quick. Make sure like you've got to know different personalities of players as well. Some can take the heat that you're giving them and the feedback straight up, whereas others you need to sugarcoat it a little bit,
just soften the blow a little bit,
give them a bit of a pat and so forth, and so you've got to take that into consideration. And then the close ones, you're out and back all the time, and know your structures and that sort of thing. And sometimes it's hard to find a place to hide out on the ground.
Exactly,
to get out of the way.
You think you're out of the play, and you try and be as inconspicuous as possible. It's hard to with that.
The footy just follows you, Crossy, didn't it?
Well, throughout your career. Yeah, exactly. But that's no stranger to that.
Yeah, I think sometimes when they show vision of runners in bad spots, like I doubt very much whether guys are intentionally doing that.
Whatever. Is there any of the boys you got to keep the messages really simple for? Is there?
I like the way you've angled that one.
I'm not
Yeah, 'cause
gonna
I've got-
show
I've got-
anyone.
Is there any names you want to
Nothing controversial here from me.
So I've heard that, without being too, controversial and pointing fingers, Christian Petracca's one who you just got to put it, very simple. Maybe say it again, repeat yourself.
Yeah, he can get a bit angry, a bit narky.
Yeah, he can have their game.
Because he doesn't, he's focused on the ball, which is fine, and you try and pick your right time to give the message. And you're not sure whether they get it sometimes, so you have to repeat it, and he'll come back at me like,
I heard you the first time or
I
something,
heard it. And he's probably, one of very few that actually...
Well, hang on. Now we've uncovered yeah, gee whiz.
But I completely understand. I know what it's like in the heat
Having
of the
been a
moment.
player yourself.
So, it's water off a duck's back. You just get back on the bench and next message.
Do you wear a GPS on your back?
I have, I usually wear my watch.
How far do you clock up?
Anywhere between 12.5 to 15 Ks.
So,
and that's after he's run 15K for Albury the day before.
I was about to say, for those people...
30K during the week, part of the rehab team. And
You're still probably the fittest bloke at our club, Doc.
We'd all be nervous if there was a 3K time trial tomorrow and Crossy was involved in it.
It's unbelievable watching the amount of volume that you run and at the quality that you do it at. So do you find that... How do you manage to play a game of football for your mighty Albury Tiger Football Club?
Well, it's not quite the same level, the intensity of the running, but it is a bloody good competition.
And you still have 40 in a couple every week?
Getting tagged, mind you. Getting tagged, he has the 40.
Yeah, with a heap of attention.
Yeah, look, they're big weekends. I won't deny it. We travel up on a Friday night, stay at mum and dad's, play the game, come back that night, hopefully get a good sleep. Hopefully the kids sleep well, and then to the ground and do the running.
So you cover probably close to 30 Ks a week, and really,
and a bit of pocket change there, more.
People
pocket
run
change,
marathons.
Yeah.
Well, but they don't run it at high intensity, stop start, sprinting off. I mean, it's not just one pace stuff. Like Dominic and I used to running through the midfield. We stick it in second gear, third gear, and cruise along. You're hammering.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's good fun. I don't think I can do it for much longer.
Yeah,
to be honest.
How many more years you reckon? This could be exclusive here.
Yeah.
Oh, here's more controversy. You're steering away from.
I'll leave it for the Border Mail.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as the president of the Runners Association, surely you've got to have some sort of succession plan.
Right. We might, like in the pre-season, they reduced it to just after goals that you could come out and in. That might be brought in next year.
That might help your longevity.
That might
prolong the career, won't it?
I might get to 40.
Yeah,
I might get to 40 years old. So, we'll see.
It's all a bit of fun, isn't it? And so next week we've got a big game coming up against the Gold Coast Suns, Dominic.
We do, we do. Their good's been good, so...
well, they knocked off Sydney a couple of weeks ago, didn't they?
Yeah, they did 2 weeks ago, so you got to plan for their best. And we've got a few meetings this afternoon that will give us a little bit of an indication of what they like to do. And we've already had our pre-game this morning as well. So, all systems rolling for the Gold Coast Suns on Sunday.
How do you prepare for a game, Dom? Run us through because I think all players sort of have a little routine maybe they like to get into, and I'm intrigued in yours because you're...
From today onwards, or...
Well, it's a bit of scope here for you to just talk through how you want. And
without boring you guys too much, tomorrow we get a day off, so I'm under the pump at uni. I'll head out to uni and try and get an assignment done.
What are you studying for the people?
Commerce degree at the moment. So slowly...
not only are you're not just a pretty face. There's that expression.
And a small business owner. Did you know that?
Clutch & Co. 100% Pima Cotton.
Yeah, uni tomorrow. Plug into the computers there. Actually going to the cinemas tonight with Tommy McDonald, and one of my schoolmates.
Big T-Bone. He's actually... Have you seen the shoes that he's wearing?
He's wearing the Dwayne Johnson Under Armour high tops.
Like vomit green,
which he is actively going to purchase at the Chadstone Shopping Centre. And my hands are dirty because I was there with him that day and didn't stop him.
That's on you. You'll have to live with that.
What are you going to see, Dom?
See Mission Impossible tonight, Crossy. Yeah, so
bit of an action.
Fan. Yeah. I've enjoyed him in the past. I want to see what he's up to at the moment.
Yeah. You've seen all the other ones?
Nah, I haven't. Nah.
I have. I actually have. I'm actually up to date.
Tommy loves it, so...
Tommy McDonald's nowhere though. Let's be frank. Yeah. So you're watching the movie tonight?
Movie tonight, uni tomorrow. We obviously have a little bit of training Saturday morning, bit of a captain's run as they call it, and then I'll probably head out to watch Old Trinity play on Saturday afternoon.
Old Trinity.
So amateur Div 1 team, or A grade team as they call it, and they're sort of, potentially in the finals race or battling relegation, such as a
gee whiz
evenness of that competition. So
So they need your support more than ever, is what you're saying, Dom.
Yeah, passive support out there,
down
mate.
there, offer a few words.
Whether they listen or not, I'm not sure. But no, I sort of sit on the far side and just take it all in, mate. I just enjoy watching. Got a few close mates that still play down there, and my brother, who he was playing down there, he's about to go overseas for his university, so he's just hung him up for the year now.
Yeah, okay, well, and favourite meal pre-game?
Saturday night, I'll probably pasta.
You'd probably need to fuel up with something similar, Doc. What's your go-to meal?
Look, pre-meal.
If you got a routine.
Before. Yeah, look, night before, I did this for basically into my second year. For the rest of my career, I had chow mein.
Chow mein.
Chow mein. I used to have it with the angel hair pasta.
Okay.
But when we went to the paleo,
had to change that up.
It's probably a bit lighter than pasta, isn't it? Sometimes they can sit in you.
Yeah, so I went to the brown rice. But I was still stuck with the chow mein. It's
you back on it?
Oh no, so I've stayed with the guts of it. I've just changed
okay, sure. Yep,
I'm with you. A few little things.
Well, there you go.
Got
it's
the system
worked.
going.
And
it's a winning formula, mate. Winning formula.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got to go to a break now, so we'll come back after with a couple of hard-hitting questions for our guests.
Beautiful.
Thanks to our co-major partner and podcast sponsor, Zurich. For over 100 years, they've been ensuring the people and things you truly love. And just like you, they truly love footy and truly love Melbourne.
All right, and we're back. For Zurich, our good friends at Zurich, we've got a question for my two good friends in the hot seat. So what's one thing that you truly love? We'll start with you, Doc. What do you truly love?
It's an easy one. My kids.
Oh, well, no, hang on. That's a cop-out. So we're going to have to take loved ones, and chow mein is a given.
And Sam.
And Sam, of course.
Yeah.
So what's one thing you love?
I love the NFL.
The NFL?
I love it.
The New England Patriots?
Yeah. It was probably, it's probably, I guess, nearly 10 years now. But up until then, I'm 35 now, so up until I was 25, I couldn't give a rat's toss about it. And then for some reason, my best mate, Joel, his name is, he's a New England Patriots fan, and we were over in the States. We organised our trip to go and see this game, and they were playing the Dolphins, and since then I've been obsessed by it. So so I'm right into it.
A bit of insight there, as opposed to just a straight back kids answer. Now, Dom, I know you've got a lovely girlfriend, but we're gonna have to put Chunga aside there for a second.
We'll digress.
So what's one thing that you love?
Well, you can probably empathise with me here, Gussie, because it's probably a 25-degree day, no wind.
Oh, now we're talking.
Maybe an 11:30 booking
at Royal Melbourne West.
Jeez,
that's
and my ideal pairing or grouping.
Me.
Well, we need you.
Wilbur.
We need you. We need Wilbur, your brother, because they absolutely stay hit when he hits one. And you need Oscar McDonald because he's
the big porterhouse.
He hits fairways, he hits greens, he won putts. It's rate of play issue, and he's a good fella.
And just for those who have maybe forgotten, my hole in one was with Dom and my older brother Will at Royal Melbourne West. So. That's
it was a great day, wasn't it?
I agree with your love there. So I'm all about that. Now we've got a few questions here that have been submitted by. We put an Instagram post up last night, and people have been writing in.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you very much for your questions. So there's a few here. We'll go back to you, Doma, because this one, now I'm sort of looking. I've seen this one's come across my desk, and now I'm wondering, what shampoo do you use and how often do you use it? Because you've got a serious set of feathers going up there.
Look, truth be told, I don't actually use shampoo.
You don't shampoo?
No. My trick is to wait till your hair's dried if you want to put a little bit of product in.
Okay, well, this is the follow-up. Right, literally it says follow-up there.
No, I've got the same run sheet. I can see that.
Okay, of course, that makes sense. So what's your follow-up?
I actually don't know the brand. It's just whatever's at that local. I just get a haircut on Swan Street at there's Dr. Follicles there.
Dr. Follicles?
Yeah.
What a man.
Good fella. And there's also the Urban Man a bit closer up to Church Street. So whatever they sell in that front window, I generally just buy.
Well, I might make myself a booking.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, nothing fancy.
Yeah, nothing fancy, but it works for you.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, if the wind's up and there's a few things, a few variables that can affect things from time to time, but relatively happy at the moment.
Yeah, that's good. Now, Doc, there's actually the most questions have come in for the doctor.
And fair enough too.
Well, yeah, because, superstar of the game, obviously still actively involved. That's why I haven't used it in the past tense. But it's interesting. You've been at Melbourne for how many years, including the runner?
This is my fifth season.
Fifth season,
yeah.
So what do you think the best part of the Melbourne Football Club is? Obviously having spent a lot of time in the system and having been around the block a few times. What's one of the things that you really love about this place?
I love it might sound cliche, but the unity of the place. Myself working in the high performance area, I believe us, conditioning staff, medical staff, we get along really well and work well with the coaches. And also admin staff. It just seems like the whole football staff works well as one. And then that translates over to the playing group. Our best interests are you guys. Everything that we do is for you guys to perform the best that you can out there, and our goal every day is to make sure that we get the best out of you guys, so you can do that. And I think that we work really well as a team, and to have success on the field, you have to have quality people, and a quality plan and program off the field. So I believe that we've got that here. So that makes me really excited to come to work every day, because I know everyone's really enthusiastic about their jobs, and we're all working towards one goal.
Pretty comprehensive answer. Do you reckon that's unique to, you would have seen a fair bit of football during your time. Do you reckon it's sort of unique to this club, or? Well,
it was certainly a little different when I first got here.
Yeah.
And Dom, you'd attest to that. Yep. A lot of things have changed since then. A lot of hard work's gone on behind the scenes to get us to this point, and the list that we have now, it's so exciting to be part of, and to have young players like yourself continually signing on because you see the vision as well. That excites us as staff. So I doubt very much whether that would happen at every club. Everyone goes through their peaks and troughs, obviously, but I think just the excitement that we can see with you guys coming through. It's it's exciting times ahead.
Absolutely. Well, there's a few questions here for me.
Do you want to ask yourself?
Lest I ask myself. Steve 248's asking what my favourite day of the week is, and I tend to think that's a Tuesday, but that's just me. If you want to jump in here, Dom, and if there's anything that you want to know, save me asking myself.
Yeah, I guess there's one at the bottom. It says, ask Gussie if he needs to oil up his head to fit in that helmet if it's not custom made. Do you want to maybe speak about that and whether it is custom made and there might be a little deal coming through, or if there has already been a deal?
Well, look, unfortunately for me, fortunately or unfortunately, because I've got a big head.
Big melon.
That's a
big
fact.
melon.
That's just a fact. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
Yep.
You pay your taxes, and Angus Brayshaw's got a big head. And
big melon.
That's just the way it is. So look, I've got an extra large helmet. If there's anything into that, custom made. I've cut some holes in where the ears are, so I can try and hear better.
It's probably necessary, isn't it?
Yeah, just so I've done some own customisation of it, but I don't oil my head. I think who's this Joker? Shane Renee 777's probably having a little bit of a laugh at my expense, and that's being carried on in the Melbourne. Did you see this thing that they put up on Facebook?
Yeah, I did actually.
I'm here. I'm doing a service to the club, and they're ripping me. But
this is something that I'd actually like to know, and it's a good question from David P. Zarafa. Is that do you ever see a day where you won't wear the helmet anymore?
That is a good question. Finally, someone taking it seriously, Doc. It's good to see. David, I'd say it's an interesting one because I don't wear it when I train. And over the pre-season, I was doing all these contact drills and was doing them without any problem without the helmet. So I can certainly see myself not wearing it. It's just more... So at the start of this year, I had to make a call whether I would or I wouldn't, and I felt like if it was 1 extra % worth of confidence that I had, then it was worth doing. At the very worst, it wouldn't do anything, but at the very most, it could stop a few little hits and potential repercussions.
Just absorb those hits.
Yeah, so I think I mean, it doesn't hurt, and it gives me a little bit of peace of mind and a bit more confidence. So, you know, I'm sure the same thing will happen. I won't wear it over summer because it's way too hot, and then I'll have to come at the start of next year and make another decision then, and it's probably too far away to speculate. But I can certainly see myself, you know, playing one day without it. It's just a matter of how I'm sort of feeling.
And look, the form's not too bad either, so you just keep the ball rolling.
Just don't want to change things up too much here, but
I've got a group question here. And we've obviously got Crossy, a member of the sports and conditioning staff, strength and conditioning staff. Which player would be the most successful on Ninja Warrior?
Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, I've got my thoughts.
I've also got my thoughts. I'm interested to hear yours as the sporting professional.
Well, I was actually talking about this with a couple of the strength guys the other day, and Jack Viney is just
power to weight there.
Yeah, he's a freak. But would his reach?
This is what I was just
the length of his arms.
Yeah. I mean, because you watch that show and all the guys with the big long
the levers,
arms,
the long levers.
So I'll throw out Sam Frost.
I was thinking Frosty. Yeah, I think he'd go out very hard too.
Muscular endurance.
Yeah.
Would that get him? That was towards the end. Yeah. I mean, I've stated this once before. He's one of the best athletes I've played with.
Yeah.
But would the muscular endurance in the arms and the shoulders get him towards the end? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should try and.
We should run some.
I mean, it's probably way too much.
I was actually talking about this with Misso the other day.
Yeah.
If we could find a course during pre-season, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to do.
A functional series.
That would be. Let's look into that because I'd be interested to see. I reckon Vines is obviously he'd be the one that people would think, but he's a short ass. Let's call a spade a spade. He's 180. He's 180 in boots, and so that'd probably hinder him down the track.
But tracker's probably one that wouldn't be too bad either.
Oh, I mean, that'd have to be simple obstacles. Too much whack. Too much thinking. What about here? Favourite song? Because you love your music.
Yeah,
you're pretty trendy.
I'm a bit of a Triple J man at times.
Yeah, okay. And you're rock and roll through and through, Doc.
Rock fellas.
Yeah. Okay, so
anything Metallica.
Let's spitball here.
Now, is that rock and roll or is that heavy metal, Doc?
It's. Yeah.
Where's the line?
I think early days they were classed as heavy metal.
Okay.
They went to the hard rock in the sort of mid-90s, early 2000s, and now they've gone back to a slash rock.
So you can only pick one song. It doesn't necessarily have to be Metallica.
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman is an absolute track. I can give you that. And
easy.
I'm right on Boo Secret at the moment, who's an Australian artist. Yeah.
That's too trendy for me, but
he gets a little run in the top 100 at time to time as well.
So I'll have to listen out for him.
Yeah.
I have to listen out. Now, is there one more question we got to ask before we get to that? We've got a few competitions and giveaways to sort of get to here. Is there one more that you can sort of see?
Well, I've got an interesting one, which is from Lockie Cools. Thoughts on the possible game changes, which is obviously very topical at the moment,
isn't it? And I'll throw you here, Doc, because you've played 249 games and have been around for a lot longer than we have.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested. You've sort of seen the game progress and change a fair bit. What do you reckon about all this stuff?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the talk about it. I hate it. It really gets me angry when people say that the game looks terrible and so forth. It really gets up my nose. So, I'd try and leave it as much as possible. I think bring back, Maxie will hate this, but bring back the third man up.
I'll love that because I got stitched up by Danger the other week.
Waiting for the ruckman to get there and so forth, that slows things down.
Yeah.
I just think, coaches are smart beasts.
They find a way to manipulate any change anyway, don't they?
There's coaches all over Australia, but there's only 18 of the best doing it at the top level.
Yeah.
And they're hired because they are the best of the best, and they'll find ways to manipulate.
It becomes a cycle, doesn't it? Then you've got to change something else.
Yep.
And
I mean, even with the talk, and there's the talk's been out there that the game doesn't look great, and that's people's opinions. I also don't agree, but we've had some terrific games this year. Not just from we've played in some real good ones, and I've been watching a few around the competition. I mean, there's still unbelievable games of football. That
I think it tends to be every year. There's a lot of rule changes spoken about, and then we always tend to get a great final series, and it seems to quieten everyone down, and they go look at the beauty of the game, the hardness, the pace, the classic final moments, the tension. So, maybe it's all a little bit premature for now.
Yeah, well, let's we'll be watching that one with some close
Hopefully we're
eyes.
playing in it, aren't we?
Well, yeah, exactly. Hopefully we're the ones that sort of just cool the Jets on it because we're playing good finals. But so we've got a few competitions now in the wrap up. So there was a photo, and I can't believe that I need to find out who's done this because it's an enormous stitch up. You've seen the photo. There's one and it's not a great look. It's not my best angle, and I have a head bandage on that. It's probably not flattering.
Yep.
And someone saw fit to put this on Facebook.
So they're trying to find a caption for that photo.
Yeah, they want to caption it.
Right.
And so they've posted on Facebook last night and asked people to caption it for a chance to win a signed jersey. And apparently I've got to pick the winner. But I'll throw it because there's a few shortlists on the shortlist here. So, I mean, I'm looking for ones that sort of flatter me. So there's one here from Brad that says, still looking better than my brothers, which is true. Michael's gone with 4 stitches, 4 points, job done. I like that. There's one about how ugly Jonesy looks as well.
Yep. It's probably a safe one, an easy one there, isn't it?
What do you reckon, Doc?
I haven't got the sheet in front of me.
Well, that's true. That probably doesn't help. But I'm going to...
You don't want to see it, Doc, really.
In this instance, I'm going to revert to one of my points from the 3-point plan for success and throw people under the bus, anyone outside of this room. I'll throw my brothers under the bus because they look like, melted Barbie dolls and drop pasties, a lot of them. So Brad Williams is the winner.
Yep, well done, Brad.
He's gone with still looking better than my brothers, which is true, and it will be until the day I die. So congratulations, Brad. You've won that one. And to whoever's put the photo up, come on.
Yeah.
Is that really necessary?
No, probably not.
It's a low blow.
Yeah.
It's a low blow. And I'm doing something good here. I mean,
it does say to the right of that photo that it did receive over 170 comments.
I mean, and 150, 160 of them would have been aggressively angled towards I'm not looking great there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Brad, congratulations, Brad Williams. You get a signed jumper thanks to Zurich, our good friends at Zurich, and that'll just about do us for this one, fellas. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, time's flown, really,
hasn't it?
Oh, it's been great. I 20 minutes out of my day couldn't have been spent any better.
Did you expect it would go this smoothly, Doc?
I didn't really.
Honestly, well, that's honest, and I appreciate it.
No, you guys have done an amazing job.
Well,
First time.
we can't take all the credit. There's been a lot of hard work done behind the scenes.
There is,
and,
is there a chance that Gussie will continue to do this? I don't know.
Oh, well, what are you suggesting?
Well, it's up to the listeners, really.
Well, I mean, give us some feedback. Obviously, we're open to improving.
They want.
And if I'm the the man for the job, Gorney's a little bit bitter that he didn't get the call up. I've heard, but anyway, that's for another episode. It's been a real pleasure having you fellas, and
you did a great job.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks,
and so did you, Doma.
No, thanks. Yeah, I enjoyed my co-hosting role.
Yeah, we're just having a good little powwow here.
Yeah, we don't speak like this enough, guys.
No.
We should do this often.
We should.
Like without the microphones.
Yeah, just catch up, maybe.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.